Our lesson today is doing more word problems, but we're focusing on a certain type of word problem, membership. So being a member of something. For example, I could do membership at a gym, a workout gym, Gold's Gym, 24 Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, things like that. I could have a membership with Netflix, right? But what's nice about Netflix is can't you cancel anytime? Right? Yeah. Can you? Okay. So some memberships are like yearly memberships. So we're going to talk about, becoming a member of something, and then also how to make sure that you're saving your money, spending the right amount of money, and so on. So here we go with our first example. Our first example says, a video store charges $8 to rent a video game for 5 days. You must be a member to rent from the store, but the membership is free. So now we need to kind of write down what we know. We know that, why don't you write this in your margin somewhere, that you have to pay, the membership is free, so that's $0. I'm putting it on the upper left corner, sorry. And then it's $8 per game. $8 a game. Okay? The video game club charges $3 to rent a game for 5 days, but the membership is $50 a year. So you have to first give them $50, and then every time that you go and you rent a video from them, it's only $3 that you have to pay. So that one I'll put also on your left-hand side under where it says questions. You have to pay $50, but it's $3 a game. Do we know how many games we're going to rent? No. All right. And it says, find the cost of renting a video game. Okay. Well, we haven't even identified what our x is going to be. And we can't begin to solve any problem unless we know let x equal. What are we going to have x be? If I'm, it's $3 a game, and then, maybe it's $8 a game. My membership fee might be $50, or my membership fee might be $0. How am I going to know what x is? Any thoughts on what x could be? Yeah?
Charges per game.
We know that. It's $8 and it's $3.
Days?
Days, we know that. 5 days. How many games? Let x equal the amount of games that you rent. How many times you rent a game? Okay? That's our x. We've identified it. Okay, let's go to A. Write an equation to find the cost of renting a video game for 5 days from the video store. The video store is the first sentence. Free membership, but it's $8 every game. Okay, I will start it, and I will tell you the easy part. It's $0 plus. But now I need to know, I'm going to rent games. It's $8 every game I rent. So what's going to go after the plus sign?
X.
Just x. No, does not go after the plus sign. 8x, $8, yes. $8 per game, 8x. We don't do any equal signs here because it's, they're just asking for the basics. B, write an equation to find the cost of renting a video game for 5 days from the club. So what kind of, these aren't really equations, they don't have equal signs. What expression can I write for the club? 50, 53. No, but I might rent 5 games or 6 games or 7 games. 50 plus. Okay, you were right. Membership plus $3 every time I rent a game. I don't know how many games I'm going to rent. We don't know yet. Okay, so we're good with that. We got A and B. C, how many videos would you need to rent for the cost of the video store to equal the cost of the club? Part C. I want them to be equal. So I want to compare A and I want to compare part B, but I want them to be equal to each other. When will they be equal? So I need to write, well, I'm going to need to write an equation to figure out how many videos. So if I want them to be equal to each other, what would I write with my expressions to make them equal to each other?
0 plus 8x equals 50 plus 3x.
Yep. I've decided that I don't want to write 0 plus because that's a huge waste of my time. 8x equals 50 plus 3x. I am making the store equal to the club because I want to know when will, what amount of games will I need to rent so that the pricing will be equal. Okay, solve it. Bring the smaller variable over first. Okay, yeah? Are we all doing the same thing? Divide by 5? Yep. 10 what? What does it mean, 10? 10 games. No, it's not a game. Oh, video game. Yeah, 10 games. Okay. All right, so let's take a pause from D for a second, and let's jump to E. Okay. I know that when I rent 10 games, the cost will average out. So here's what I want you to do with the people at your table. I want you to figure out how much it would cost for me to rent 12 games. Which would be cheaper, the store or the club? So you've got 12 games you got to figure out at your table. But then what if I wanted to rent 8 games? Figure that out at your table. So you've got to do 12 games, which is the best deal, club or store. And then you have to do 8 games, which is the best deal, club or store. Go ahead and start on that now. 12 and 8, I think. Okay, so E. E is the answer that we got, that we just compared. If I rent for 12 games versus if I rent for 8 games. For F, do you need a table to check? Like, can you think of what we would use the table for? What use would the table give me if I wanted to check my work? Yeah. I don't want to do Y. No Y. But X, like, I just had you do 8 and 12 games. What other things could I use to check? Like, what could I use this table for if I had a table and I wanted to organize my work? What could I use a table for? The what? No, we're not graphing. It's okay. It's okay. No thoughts. Why would this table be here if it's not functional? What could I use a table for?
To
Check your answer.
That's right. It says, use a table to double check your work. How am I going to check my work?
Hey, I said something.
Yeah.
could you use other numbers under?
Woo! Use other numbers. Maybe I want to know if I did 5 games. What about I could put like club here and I could put store here and compare the pricing. Or I could even use the chart in a different way. If I wanted to not put games there, I could put club here and I could put store here. And then I could use it and do like 5 games, 10 games, 15 games, and check the pricing that way. So there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize a chart, okay? All right. Greater than 10 games is 12 games. So if I rented 12 games, which place is cheaper? They say club.
The club.
Anyone else? Club, agreed? Okay. When I rented from the club my 12 games, how much was it?
It was
$86? Okay. And then what about if I got 12 games from the store? What was that? Ooh, 96 from the store. Okay, good to know. Now, less than 10 games. What if I rented 8 games? Which place was cheaper? The store. What was the price for 8 games at the club?
74.
74. What was the price for 8 games at the store?
64.
Yes. That proves right there that your answers are right. This is the club. This is the store. Awesome. Okay, now. So here's the results that we got. At the end of the day, it matters how many games you're going to rent. Do you think that you're going to rent a game every day for the full year?
No.
Okay, well, maybe if you don't play video games you won't, but maybe you will. So a big part of this whole membership process is, are you going to utilize the membership? Are you going to rent games or not? So that's what you have to decide, because if I'm not a gamer, then I need to go with the store, because I'm going to rent less than 10 games. Okay? It's all about, are you going to utilize your membership, or are you going to have wasted money at the end of it? Now go to number 2. Go to number 2. All right, a gym membership. Okay, this is definitely practical. Video games are for only a select few, but gym membership, eating healthy, staying healthy, exercise, is something that most of America wants to do. So you could choose to join a gym. And if you choose to join a gym, you're going to have to pay an upfront fee. LA Fitness charges it. 24-Hour Fitness charges it. Gold's Gym, Planet Fitness. Who else exists? Who? The Y. You can join the Y. So no matter what I do, I'm going to have to pay an upfront fee, and then every month I'm going to have to pay, or maybe every visit I'm going to have to pay. I never want my money to be wasted. So these type of word problems are problems that you're going to do when you're older and you're comparing prices. You're going to work really hard for your money. You don't want to say, well, that gym membership was a waste. I never went. Because then it's like, darn it, you just spent all this money and it's gone now. So figuring out ahead of time, how much am I going to go, is going to be the deciding factor. Should I join with Plan 1 or should I join with Plan 2? So now let's read the question. A gym offers 2 memberships, 2 packages. Plan 1, $50 to be a member, and then $5 every single time you go. So write that on the side somewhere. $50 to join, and then $5 a visit. Plan 2 is $200 to be a member, so write that on the side. Oh, but nice, only $2 every time I go and visit. Okay. So now, I don't know what X is going to be. What should X be? Let X equal visits that you go. Days that you go. How many visits? Okay. A, write an equation for the gym for Plan 1. Plan 1 is the 50 and the 5. What would I write? What expression would I write for Plan 1? 50 plus 5x. Okay, part B. Write an equation to find the cost with Plan 2.
200 plus 2x.
Oh, look at that. So many of you know the answer. Perfect. Okay, so I had $200. That's a lot of money to give up front. But $2 a visit is super cheap. So now we got to figure out. Part C. How many times would you have to go to the gym so that Plan 1 equals Plan 2? What equations should I set up so Plan 1 equal Plan 2?
5x equals 200 plus 2x.
Cool, let's solve it. Move the smaller variable over first. Now move the 50 over so you get the numbers together, the constants together. Last step is to get x alone. What is it?
50.
50. 50 what?
Visits.
Visits. Okay? 50 visits. All right, here's what I'm going to do again for you. Okay? All right, if I go more than 50 times, say 60 times, which is cheaper? Plan 1 or plan 2? If I go 60 times, was plan 1 cheaper or was plan 2 cheaper? Whoa, mixed answers. No commitment? Here's how you're going to have to figure it out. With plan 1, plan 1 was 50 plus 5x. And you guys put in 60 visits, right? 50 plus 300, 350. With plan 2, 200 plus 2 times 60. 200 plus 120, 320. If I go more than 50 visits, which plan is cheaper? Plan 2. Those of you that said plan 2, good job. Is this the math that you did to figure it out?
Yes.
Okay, I hope. Less than 50 visits. Those of you that plugged in 40. 40 for plan 1 and 40 for plan 2. Which one was cheaper? Plan 1, did you agree with her? To solve this, you'd do exactly the same thing as I just did, but you'd plug in 40 instead of 60. Okay, here's why this matters. Because if you're going to spend, let's say you decide to go with plan 2, and you decide that you're going to put down, and you're going to give them $200, that means that you better go more than 50 times. And if you don't go more than 50 times to the gym, it wasn't worth it to you, and you wasted your money. You don't want to waste your money. You don't want to be unfoolish when it comes to purchases like this, especially when $200 takes a long time to earn. Okay? So, where else do we see, let me see what slide is next, hold on. Oh, okay. This is the end E and F. So E, we figured out which plan was more economical based on how many visits you went to. And then F, you'd use the table again. You could do like plan 1 and plan 2, and then say, what if I go 15 times? What if I go 40 times? What if I go 70 times? What if I go 100 times? And figure out your pricing, okay? Now, where else in the world can you go somewhere and you will be charged on like a membership basis?
Knots.
Knots. How does that membership at Knots work?
Just kidding. You just kind of pay.
No, there is a way. What's it called?
Like a season pass?
A season pass. So if I'm going to put the money up front for a Knots season pass or a Disneyland season pass or a Magic Mountain or Six Flags, right? Then I better make sure that I go and utilize that. Because if I don't go, I'm going to be wasting my money. Where else can you do memberships? Yeah? Insurance, like if you're doing car, let's say, you actually pay for it all up front, and you're covered every single day that you're just there. Even if you don't drive that day, you still pay. But with insurance, you have to compare the pricing of the two companies before you commit, you know? So, yes?
Some credit cards?
Some credit cards. So you guys don't know this yet, but I can get a credit card that earns me like airline points, but I have to pay $100 a year to have that credit card. Or I can do a card like a rewards cash back, where every money I spend, I get like 1% back and a check in the mail. But again, there's an annual fee for that. What else?
Phone lines, like gas.
Phone lines, like cell phones. So I'm going to pay right off the bat to buy the phone and to be a T-Mobile customer, and then I'll get this data each month, okay? And then I use that data or I don't use that data. But doesn't T-Mobile like roll over? Isn't that their thing?
I like Verizon.
Okay. So if you roll over, you don't lose your data, which is nice. Yes?
Forever 21 in like stores.
Stores. So do you have to pay up front for a club?
Yeah. For like
So you have to pay?
Costco.
No, hold on. We're talking about clothing stores right now.
Well, they ask you if you want to be a member of their reward system.
Do you have to pay money?
Sometimes it's free.
Or you get discount on clothes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There is this company. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's called Restoration Hardware.
No.
So it's a store like Crate and Barrel, and I just saw the flyer the other day. But I have to pay $100 to become a preferred member at Restoration Hardware, and I get 25% off everything I buy. But then it's like, am I gonna buy more? Am I gonna buy more than $100 at that store? Yeah.
Have we said Netflix yet?
Netflix. Do you have to give money up front to Netflix, or is it just every month you pay?
Every month.
But who's Netflix's competitor? Hulu. So before you sit there and sign up with one of them, you need to check which place has more videos that I like to watch, that I want to watch. How much does each one cost per month? Okay? So you need to compare things like that. I wrote a list on the board, but I think you guys pretty much got it. There's also banks. If I join Chase or if I join Bank of America, I have to have like a certain amount of money in my bank account. Otherwise, they're going to charge me fees. So that's something to pay attention to. Don't just join the bank that your parents joined. Why don't you investigate who gives good interest rates? Who has fees? What about the ATM fees if I go to somewhere else? What is Wells Fargo going to charge me if I use a Bank of America ATM? Things like that, get it? Okay. You work hard for your money. Don't waste it. Okay? So I'm a math teacher, but also I'm going to talk to you about budgeting money. Be smart about it. Do your research, because you don't ever want to be like, darn it, that was $75 I just wasted. You don't ever want to be able to say that. Yeah.
One time I went to Six Flags and we had to like get money out because their credit card system was down at like their ATMs, and every time it would only let you take out like $120. So every time we'd like take out more money, it would charge us $10. Is that what they do?
So that's super tricky and super like scandalous. Because if they're only going to let you take out $120 and they're going to charge you a fee every time you do it, then that's like, geez, just let me take out $200 or let me, But there's also a whole like you can only take out a certain amount your bank allows every day. Like you can't withdraw more than $300 or $400 from your bank ATM every day. There's like an amount, Okay? All right, good. Let's go to, which I've got, the homework. We're going to do number 1 together. Okay? So look at number 1, a computer center. That word computer center is the same thing as like internet cafe. An internet cafe is really, in other countries, but you can go to an internet cafe, just log on to the computer, and they're going to charge you every minute that you're on the internet. So that's what a computer center means. So go ahead and get started. If you don't use the table, that's fine by me, but all the other ones need to be filled out. All right, get to it.